This is a video about how mosses get around, and they do get around pretty fast. And here we've got a whole load of cushion mosses growing on a roof in Nottingham, but they don't stay on the roof, they come off, and particularly down drain pipes, and these mosses look pretty healthy. Now they could have been picked at by birds, or they've just been washed off, or they may have detached themselves deliberately perhaps from the roof. And here are some pads of Syntrichias that particularly seem to be coming off roof, sorry. And here's a pad that's partially hydrated but drying out. When it's fully dry, it looks like that, and it looked a lump of charcoal really. And they do dry out really quickly over a matter of a couple of hours. And here are three different Syntrichias. This one I think is Caninervis, and I think this one is Ruralis, and the next one is probably, I think, Montana. But the thing to note about each of these mosses is that while the basic structure is the same, some of them are large shoots with open clumps, and some are much smaller, like this one. And I'm hydrating these plants here to show you how quickly they do hydrate, and it happens over about a 3-minute period. And you can see that these plants are rather similar, even though the sizes of the clumps and the sizes of the rosettes are very different. This one is the one that I consider to be Caninervis. This one has much more open shoots and open clumps, but it hydrates at about the same speed. It's got the same kind of hairs at the tips of the shoots, but the leaves and the rosettes at the tips of the shoots are much larger. And you can see that the hydration is almost complete after about 2 minutes. On this one, it's a very open clump, and you can see the hairs taking up the water here, and the clump hydrates pretty quickly. If you look at the top left, you can see how large these end tip rosettes are compared to the first one, which I thought was Caninervis. Now here are these shoots when they've been removed from the clumps, and you can see the small one there is probably Caninervis. The one in the middle there has got leaves on the whole shoot, whereas the small one doesn't really have any leaves except at the tip. And I think that this is really important. So what I've got here is a piece of this fine Caninervis moss, and I'm just crushing it underneath my fingers, and look, it's just turning into fine dust. And I believe that each of these particles of dust that is forming here as I sprinkle it on the paper is a propagule. It's capable of becoming a new moss. And I'm going to try and prove this over the next week or two. So I'm going to transfer these into a tray of seed and cutting compost, and just looking at seeing how many new shoots come up. But of course, in the wild, in habitat, these plants can be blowing around like dust or like spores, even though these aren't spores, they're just parts of the plant. But I want to see how many of these actually come up and germinate. And this is an explanation why some of these Syntrichia mosses are so common all over the world, because they spread through drying out quickly and spreading like dust. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and many thanks for watching. Thank you.